Hey guys, Cold here. Welcome to another Racial Legends video. Guys, this will be an arena account takeover. We're gonna show you a specific team that I built for Xer 2020. I built a team for him so he can cruise through the arena, hopefully get into the gold arena and farm it, because he needs to get arbiter. It's of course a big struggle. This account is just level 56. The Great Hall is not that developed, but with this arena team I think he can just cruise through, use his arena refreshes really fast, and hopefully get some real progression to this team, because Great Hall does matter for an account. So I'll show you one of the best teams available for you to farm arena medals extremely fast. If you've never seen this team before, let's go have a look right now. I'll show you how this team works, how much damage it does, and then we'll go over the champions, their skills, their gear, their masteries, and everything. So let's just see the showcase. This account was bronze 3 when I was starting to test it out after I built it. So now I'm gonna show you guys on how this team works and hopefully get into silver. So we see all these enemy teams here. Of course, some of these are extremely fast. Let's go to the bottom one in the list. Hopefully we'll find some tougher ones. Of course, there's the speed factor. This account didn't have much gear, didn't have many glyphs available for me to use. The speed on our speed booster is 253, so quite low. There will be enemy teams that are faster than us. Even so, we'll see how this goes, because we do use a specific synergy for the whole team, even if we go second. So note that, guys. It's not gonna be the best team when we go second, but it's one of the better ones, I would say. Okay, so let's just go in here. You see this is called the blender team, the blender setup. So how this works is you need a specific champion, not just Cardiel. There's many champions out there that do fill this role. Cardiel specifically is one of the best ones in my opinion, because he does have an increased critical rate, an increased critical damage buff to your team, and then gets your team, all your allies, to attack a specific target. And if your allies, the ones that are attacking your attackers, not the booster, the other two champions, the attackers, have an A1, their default skill being an AoE, then it becomes the blender team, because they just blend through the enemies and destroy them extremely fast. We'll see that in action in just a bit. And if this fight prolongs for a little bit, Cardiel also provides a block debuff buff, a cleanse, and a revive on death on your allies. So this is a fantastic kit to have from a champion. So we do have our booster, who is Seeker. Seeker fills both the boosting of Torment by 30%, increase attack buff on all allies, which is amazing for damage. And then in the case we do get attacked and we are second, when we receive a crit on Seeker, then an increased defense buff on all allies is applied, so they can be tankier for a little while from the enemy's critical hits. So this is why I said even if we go second, we have some kind of protection. Then our other two champions are our Skullcrown and Sinesha sisters. Both of them have such good utility together. Their default skills do an AoE attack, so the all ally attack component there works with the AoEs, and specifically Skullcrown and Sinesha have very strong A1 abilities, default abilities. So let's go in there. I'll put this on 1x. You guys see that the enemy Gogora was about to get a turn, but because I am fast enough and speed tuned means when I do get my turn, nobody else is coming in between us. Okay, nobody else will get their turn. If I do get my turn, good luck. I hope you survive the damage. So we do get our turn. Seeker is gonna go again because of his specific skill. He boosts and then he gets an extra turn. So I'm gonna go straight on Gogora. Decrease the perimeter, you see that that's because of the mastery that Seeker has. We'll go through that in a bit. So now we do the all ally attack. I'll put this on 1x and just see how many numbers the screen will be filled up with. Look at that, critical damage up, critical rate up, and let's go. Look at that, 30,000, 17,000, 20,000, 19,000. Basically 4 attacks on each enemy of about 20,000 on average each. Nobody really survives this, and there's no defense down on the enemies. Okay, no defense down. We don't have any Great Hole for critical damage or attack percent. So imagine the opportunity for growth in terms of gearing on this account. Okay, so let's go and fight the other team, which is this one. This one has Deacon. Deacon is a quite tough opponent. Let's see if we can actually beat them. Of course, it's the speed fight right at the start. We'll see who's first. So we are first, and it means we pretty much win. And these tiers, I think we pretty much win. Let's go. Look at that. Boom. We are in silver 1. We started in bronze 3, and through my own testing of the whole teams, then we finally reached silver, and this account can actually reach even higher. I believe he can reach gold because he does have a very strong team. It's just that he needs more speed on Seeker to go even higher than gold 1. So look at that. We go first. Even with a Valkyrie against us who steals Terminator, we're actually speed tuned enough. I made sure of that so that we can actually do this whole burst. So now only 2 of the enemies are still alive. There's no real worry about these 2 right here beating me. Even if we couldn't burst them down, there's no issue with me dying. So there we go. There's the kill from Cardiel. He should have his A3 again because it actually resets when the team gets a kill. But yeah, the Skull Crown made sure to actually take them down. So one of the teams, unfortunately, that we will have a hard time taking down is a Torment. So Torment is notorious for his freeze ability. When he does find enemies that apply buffs or Terminator feel, then he has a chance to freeze them. So this will happen to our team. We don't have the immunity gear to protect us. That's a more end game setup. If you have immunity gear, then you can be protected by a Torment. If not, then you'll see what happens here, where my team basically boosts Terminators, buffs, everything, and it's gonna be a hard time for us, especially if Cardiel gets frozen. If he doesn't get frozen, which may have been the opportunity for me to put an immunity set on him, but we didn't have that good immunity gear on him. So here you see that we are frozen, but I know what to do in this situation because of the good kit that Cardiel has. Here is where the luck comes in terms of RNG. This Void champion just unlocks so much more than, let's say, if we had a Catacomb Counselor, who is another all ally attack champion. Catacomb Counselor is, he still does what Cardiel does, but he doesn't get the critical damage up, the critical rate up. He doesn't have a cleanse, a block debuff buff, a revive, so he doesn't have all that, but he still works to initiate the blend, okay? So champions like Cardiel and Firekin in the Fan do have that critical rate up and critical damage up, which is additional damage that we can do to the enemy team. So what I want to do now is actually stop the enemy Valkyrie, I think. Hopefully here, if we can provoke her. No, we got resisted there. So here, I'll go with my own champion, Cardiel. So I won't do the all-out attack. It doesn't make sense, okay? What makes sense, though, is to cleanse my team and give them block debuff buff and the revive. So look at that. Now they're protected. It's not a blend setup that I'm doing right now. It's mostly like okay, survive a little bit longer, then we might be able to take down the enemy team. So now Cardiel will go, and hopefully we'll have enough damage. Look at that. We did have enough damage. We took down 2 of the enemies, actually 3, but Torment does have a revive. Now we'll try and take down this Torment. And I can even just do this. Try and kill off this guy. Do the A1. Ooh, he doesn't die. He's pretty tanky. Skullcrown should be able to take both of them out. Look at that. And we do get the kill. So you see, even if we didn't have the advantage because of what Torment could do to a team, because Cardiel provides so much more utility, this account is blessed in going second, or even if he gets frozen, Cardiel can actually provide something more than other all-ally attack champions would. So this is why I think he's the best in terms of providing that blender boost, okay? You see, we beat all these teams. We're already in silver 1. I'm not going to show you any more of these because these are just clicking the button, clicking auto, winning. This is how the team works. It's so much fun. Let's go over the gear for each and every one of those champions. So first things first, Cardiel. Speed sets on. You could go immunity if you wanted to. The idea is go second after Seeker, and if you can, be speed tuned. If you don't know what speed tuning is, I've made several videos of those before. You can use the arena calculator on Deadwood Jedi's website if you want to have some insight in how to build a speed tune team. So go over there if you want to do that. So I do have him built with a 241 speed, and Seeker is our fastest one with 253, so very close together. Speed gear didn't really care about the other stats on the gear. because you saw it works perfectly. If you can get tanky gear, then it's fine. If not, then it's still fine. You just need the speed. So he is maxed out in terms of skills, but you don't need that for the enabling this A3 ability, the all ally attack. You don't need that, but it does help. And then in terms of masteries, we do have timely intervention, but still you don't need even masteries to make this work. So let's go over to Seeker. Seeker is another champion. You don't need masteries. Masteries help if you do have speed sets. They can give you some extra speed points, and they can also give you that 5% chance to actually provoke. We don't even have accuracy on this Seeker. We don't even have a banner. We don't have 6-star ascension. We don't have 6 pieces of speed, 3 speed sets on this champion. We have a varying amount of sets because these are the best ones that we had on this account. A plus 17 speed, a plus 14 plus 5, a plus 21 plus 4, and then a 18. We don't have any glyphs at all on this account to make this work, but it does work still. So 253 on speed. The more we get on speed, the better it is in terms of fighting teams that are faster than us. Because if you find an enemy blender team that is faster than you, they're gonna do what you do to them. So losses will happen. This is not a 100% team to win, but it does help. Just get out of bronze 4, get out of get into silver, hopefully get into gold. So the 2 damage dealers now. Let's see Sinesha. Sinesha is a support champion in her own. Okay, she's not meant to do damage, but because of the ability of Cardiel to give critical rate and critical damage, we only need to build her with 70% critical rate, as much critical damage as possible, which opens up the possibilities for damage so much more. Our attack is so low. Look at that, under 3000, and that's because we don't have a good attack ring. We only have an okay amulet. It could have been a 6-star. We don't have an attack banner, so this could have been an additional 300 to 400 to 500 attack on this champion. We did go critical damage on the gloves, attack percent on the chest, attack percent on the boots, because we don't care about speed at all on the 2 damage dealers. They don't need to be fast. They need 0 speed, additional speed. Because of the all ally attack going, they will be using their skills without taking a turn. So you go with 0 speed, don't care about the speed, and this is what happens. You get as much damage as possible, as much attack, as much critical rate, as much critical damage, and this works. But the 70% is very specific to Farakin the Fat and Cardiel, so be very careful with that if you're going to be building this kind of team. I did max out her A1 ability. We need that additional damage, and I did give her Helm Smasher because she didn't have War Master before, so I gave her Helm Smasher. And I did go for kind of different build than Skullcrown. I'll show Skullcrown's build in a bit. What I didn't take here is I didn't take Shield Breaker because the enemy team will never have a shield on when Sinesha is attacking. So this would have been a wasted mastery. I did instead go for Heart of Glory, which is an additional 5% damage, and had to miss out on Ruthless Ambush. I could have gone for Cycle of Violence, but honestly, Sinesha is there for cleanup. She's not Skullcrown, so refreshing her abilities won't do much since her other abilities are not as damage heavy as Skullcrown's are. So this is the build that I've done for Sinesha, and it even went for Lore of Steel and Sniper, which don't really matter. Lore of Steel does matter because it does give me a few extra bits of damage through the attack and critical damage set. So that's Skullcrown. And then finally, the best damage that I could give to Skullcrown. Look at that, a critical damage and a Savage set. Fantastic that I did have the opportunity to build this champion like so. You can see that we can go a bit higher in terms of attack on this banner. I just didn't level it up. There is still a possibility to get some attack through that. 4.4 thousand attack, insane. Okay, for bronze 4 champion, 79% crit. I couldn't go lower for some reason. 256 critical damage, which is insane, remember. And everything else, as I said, you don't care, just care about attack, critical rate, critical damage. Savage set and critical damage set works so well. Everything is maxed out because you need it for as much damage potential as possible. And then finally for masteries, I did go for Helm Smasher, getting Ruthless Ambush and Shield Breaker to get through big shields if there are any shields against us. Cycle of Violence is nice because the Skullcrown does have an A2 ability that attacks all enemies and does some significant amount of damage. And in terms of the defense masteries, I went Retribution because if she gets attacked, she gets a chance to counterattack back at the enemies. So, why did I pick Skullcrown and Sinesha? Well, because this account only had those. Yeah, that's one, okay? But also because Skullcrown and Sinesha are the best ones for this blended team. Skullcrown has an A1 that attacks all enemies, place an extra hit if the target has more than 50% HP. There's no other champion in the game that does this on their A1 other than Sinesha, but this is the opposite. Place an extra hit on enemies with less than 50% HP. So Skullcrown has to hit first, Sinesha has to hit second. They both go so well together, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by just slowing things down on a 1x speed on this team that we're fighting right now. So 1x speed, be very careful and notice who attacks first. So once Cardiel does his all ally attack, he's going to boost the critical rate, critical damage. And you will see Skullcrown going on the left. She'll go first. Look at Skullcrown's attack and then Sinesha's attack to clear off 3 of the enemies. And then she actually gets a turn and hits on that cell of the drakes. So that's why it works so well. Skullcrown did a double hit. Sinesha did a double hit. And then Sal, because she was a little bit extra tanky, she survived but couldn't survive. So if you had the same team and had a kind of different setup and had somebody else in the leader slot instead of Skullcrown, who does give speed, a speed aura, then you would still need to have Skullcrown in the second slot right here in order for her attack to hit first than Sinesha. Because if I don't do this and I put this team, for example, here, you'll see the difference in damage. See how much difference in damage this does. Just the positioning of the two champions. We might not even beat this team just because of this. So you'll see Sinesha and then Skullcrown. See the difference in damage right here. Because Sinesha went first and then Skullcrown. But we luckily did get a turn here. I'll do my A1 to clear them off. I'm not even going to give them the win here. But again, put Sinesha there in the final slot, and it will work wonders because the ally attack turn order depends on the positioning of the champion in the initial screen right before you go into battle. So Cardiel goes, look at that, it's just beautiful, okay, just beautiful. And Skullcrown to die any second now. Come on, get a turn. Boom. Okay, we get that easy win. So this was the video, guys. This was the Blender team. This was a fun takeover. I love building Blender teams because it works so well, and it's gonna give Xer, the guy that has this account, it's gonna give him so much more fun to do in the arena. Look at our win ratio, 28 wins to 0 losses since we built that team. Of course, this is not a 100% team. By no means this can go to platinum first, okay? It's just for where we were, there's so much more that we can do and so much more where we can climb with this specific team, and it's gonna give this account so much more potential. So this was the video, guys. If you're ever interested for an account takeover, just shoot me a message over on Discord. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.